Hi everyone, I have a little unboxing video here going on. I got quite a big delivery from Weaver today, and just gonna show you what I got. It's mostly letters, Hermann leather. I got some shielding, some hardware. So let's open the first box. Here, first box, Latigo. It's almost 100 kilos of letters today. Ordered another 5 sides today. Different supplier. I also need some rawhide for the next saddle. This is what I love. This packaging paper, I never throw it away. It's perfect weight for me for my patterns. I don't need to have very thick cardboard to be able to draw a letter. I'm used to go very light, and when it's so light, it's very easy to make patterns. For example, I was making patterns a couple minutes ago for a brow band, and I always go make a half pattern or even a quarter pattern, and then I just open it up and go by halves to make a full pattern. It's all symmetric, all 4 sides, and it's still a good idea when you make. I start my patterns making from the center, so I draw a center line and I cut it with a knife, not all the way through, just kind of halfway, and it's very easy then to bend over and without having excessive material there, so it's much more accurate. So, and I'm using this weight, especially from Weaver. They have perfect paper for packaging, so I love it for. And when I'm making patterns for my saddles, my saddle seats, my skirts, if you can see the saddle here behind me, it's just not too stiff, easy to work with, and there's always plenty. I love this Latigo leather from Weaver. It's their own brand. It's a chain factory, and what I like about this Latigo, even comparing to Hermann Oak, Hermann Oak makes pure vegetable Latigo, so they only use the vegetable solution, vegetable tent, and this is a combination of vegetable, and it starts with a chrome titanium and then vegetable retan. So it has best of both worlds, chromium and vegetable leathers. So it's stronger, it has a little bit less stretch, it has lots of wax. So I have two sides, 2 weights or thicknesses. So this is a thinner one. It's a 6-7 ounce or about 2.8 millimeter thick. I use this for saddle strings and some other thin straps, for bleeder straps to tie my my skirts to the saddle, and I use it for all these strap works, for like lightweight, for attaching conchos to like chaps or different oil applications. And then the thick one, as you can see, it's super smooth. There are very little weight on these. It's the rough outside. I can show you the smooth side. So here's the butt. This is the spine, and this is where I cut my Latigo tie straps for saddle. So this is weighed about 9-11 ounce. It will be 4 millimeters, 4.2, depends. So I use mostly from here up to here. Here towards the belly, I use this part for horn wraps, because it has more stretch to it, so it's easier to wrap around the horn. If you can see my saddle over there, so it's not as much strength to hold the saddle. It will stretch more, but that stretch is required to do a nice tight fitting job when doing my horn wraps. So here's the strength, and here's some pliability. So I use all the parts except maybe these little. These are the front leg. It's quite good leather actually. It's not too wrinkly, so I can use it for some smaller projects. Sometimes I sell these offcuts. Sometimes I give it to schools or whatever. So, and here's the neck. So I like to have my Latigos about 6 foot long, so 6-7 foot, and that's usually the nice part. And then sometimes in the neck it gets too wrinkly, so I just don't use it for Latigos. Most people, they want 6 foot. So beautiful side, no cuts, no blemishes. I always check both sides on the bottom. Beautiful side. So I like to cut my Latigo pretty much straight after I get it, because it's an oily side, and if it's mixed under my table with my skirting, which is drier, the oils and waxes will transfer to my other leathers and can create a stain. So I like to have it separate. I cut it into pieces I need to make it from, and I have it separate. So, and it takes a little bit too much space when it's like this, the full size. So I like to cut my Latigos pretty maybe today or tomorrow when I get a chance. Hold them up. If they touch each other for a few seconds or a minute, it's okay. But if I leave it for days, I'm in the storage. I always like to store my oily leathers away from my Bechton dry leathers. The next package. I think I ordered 2 different weights or thicknesses of skirting from Hermanov. I use heavier 13-15 ounce for, it'll be about 5.5 mil for my main parts, and steel leathers require strength. But as I have the orders for lightweight saddles, I also got me some thinner ones. So one side here. That's it. Again, more and more wrapping paper for me. This is for my kids. They are like cats. They love boxes. I always prefer to use natural color. Every time there is a dye involved in leather saddle making, it always takes a little bit of the quality, the shine away of the leather. So I prefer using natural. I like to use some stains like antique finish, which is more on top of the leather than going straight into the fibers. The leather always looks nicer when it's natural. But Hermanov, they do beautiful chestnut colored leathers. They also do chocolate and black, and it's always better to use factory dyed than dye at home, because I have never seen as nice dyed leather as from the factory or when it's natural. Again, beautiful sides. Many of my saddles are rough out, so I don't mind if there are any scratches on the smooth surface. But here I can see super clean. Check my top. This is the 11-13 ounce as the thinner version. On average, one saddle I use 2 sides. Sometimes 2.5 if there is a breast collar, flank cinch, I might be able to have to use maybe three sides, but usually two and a half sides. Many times, if it's only a very small saddle, if it's a lightweight construction without the back jockeys, maybe one and a half. But yeah, two is probably the minimum, because if I have to use in-skirt rigging with lightweight saddles, I actually have to use more leather than I use the on the flat plate rigging. So it's about the same material, but two sides is average. Again, there's a little bit of the kind of stain here, but if I use it as a rough out, it's no problem at all. Some small projects. There's never a perfect side, but these are super clean. There is very little waste. Then I really like these sides. So that's two sides there. I might do actually a pair of tapaderos from one of these. So they'll be mostly for those two saddles. They're waiting in the queue once I finish this saddle here. I love this sound. Okay. Hope it won't fall. Another one here. This thing is also Herman Oak, which should be the 13 and 15 ounce, the heavier sides or thicker sides. And I use these for my saddle seats, steel bladders. If it's a working saddle, I use all pieces for this thickness. And if it's a lightweight, I combine these two. The lighter ones and the heavier for steel bladders where you need this kind of strength. Actually, cut this side so it's a bit more tight. Natural color, and my favorite finish is neatswood oil, which I'll show you in a minute. I also got a big drum, big bucket of the neatswood oil. First, so it's basically the same leather, same side. It's just heavier, a little bit thicker. Again, beautiful color. Herman Oak leather is the most beautiful leather when it's just oiled. It goes. They use a tanning solution from oaks, I think from Africa, and that gives them that beautiful color, kind of a almost orange, reddish, golden. It's a mixture of colors, and they're just beautiful. And once it's oiled, it looks like it's old. They're so rich. Actually, here on the saddle, if you can see, probably not. This is natural oil. If you can see that in the focus, before I put the antique finish. So yeah, beautiful sides. And the guys in the Weaver factory, they really, if I ask them, I want to have really clean sides. I never got, it's never got really bad side. Never had to call them to send me another piece. Just beautiful sides. Very minimum defects. So and if there are any small ones, it's never a brand. They never branded these letters, so it's really good value. And you can buy straight from Hermann Oak. You have to buy at least minimum 10 sides per purchase, and it comes about the same price as the Weaver. And you can get grade A, B, C, or D, and these are all the A's and B's. And the good thing is with the Weaver, if I get the letter, I can get in the shipping some hardware. I'm buying also my hardware from Weaver's company, so for me it's much better to buy from minimum amount of suppliers, so I don't pay so much shipping charge, especially when ordering from the States. So this time I paid $500 only shipping, but it was over 100 kilo, about $2,700 worth. So yeah, it is a lot, but once I got that, I knew I need certain amount of letters. I got, for example, the next box I show you, I got me a larger bucket of needful oil, which is always a better price than buying a small packets. Usually I never buy these before, never bought this before, such a big container, because it was getting my shipping charge so high, but I knew I'm gonna pay this much anyway, so I got me 5 gallons. It's the Shep's pure needful oil. I think it's 5 gallons. Yeah, 5 US gallons. 18.93 liters. So this will last me for hopefully at least half a year. For every saddle I make, I use at least 1 liter of oil for each saddle. 2 coats of oil, so about 1 liter per saddle. And it's the best oil. It's made of cow's hoof, so it strengthens the fibers. Some people, they don't oil the leather, but when it's used outdoors and exposed to elements and it's abused, it gives the fibers the strength. Because the leather, you could see when I had the leather with the previous leather, it is all dry. So it accepts the water for tooling and molding. So it's very well moldable leather, but it has no finish. And oil is the best finish as a start to regain the strength of the fibers of the leather. And then you can use several types of finishes to either waterproof it and protect from mold, from elements. And that's why I use mostly wax finish, beeswax. So there are lots of options, but oil is, or should be, the first step. So I get one of these smaller boxes. There's one here. Let's start with this one. It's bigger, but it's lighter. I think this is the sheepskin. Yeah. So this again, standard. I'm using the saddles. It's a bark tent, sheepskin, not chrome tent. It has more. It's more rigid. It has more body to it, so it's not as soft as the chrome. And it's a special cut of the wool, giving a very nice shock absorbency. So I use this for lining my saddles, line my buckle guards and other products that I make. And I use it a lot for applying the oils finishes, I always use offcuts from lining my saddles. So yeah, one sheepskin for one saddle. So I can fit a pair of skirts. They go from 10, 12 up to 14 square foot. So depending if I have a large, I think I order one larger one because one saddle I have large square skirts. So, and there's these spots when there's no wool, the armpits. So I have to cut out that, and well, beautiful. They actually dyed. This is colored. It's a perfect color for making these linings for saddles. You can also get natural color, but people they usually don't want them because they get dirty very easy and it doesn't look very nice. So there's the sheepskin there. Oh, nice box there. Can use it later on. And this final box is the final one. Oh, there's two more. Let's see, this is the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the final box. And here is the hardware. There should be some wax finishes there. Alright, what do we got here? I was talking about the finishes. This is the leather finish from Be Natural Leather Care. It's a wax finish. It's a liquid wax. So I wouldn't recommend to use it straight on dry leather. It should be finished before, oiled. Because oiling, what it does, it actually closes the pores of the leather. If it's finished, you can use it on any other leather. You can use it on vinyl. If you have seats, which is not real leather, you can still use this to polish it, to give a nice shine. This is basically just a wax. It's a little bit of protection. There's a shine to highlight the carving. Most of the protection is from oil and wax. And it takes a little bit, it does a little bit protecting the from scratching the leather, because I think they use carnauba wax, which is the hardest wax from all waxes. It's harder than the beeswax, or it's a combination of beeswax and carnauba wax. So yeah, wax shine on all top grain leathers, including exotic riptile leathers and vinyl. Used on saddles, tags, shoes, boots, garments, handbags, upholstery, dashboards, and much more. So even for cars, doesn't darken the leather. Many products like creams, they do protect maybe a little bit more, but they darken the leather a lot. So I had this is a Superior quick change stirrup adjusters that was requested by one of my clients. So this is a little bit different than the Blevins buckles. So these pins, they go on the bottom of your fenders, fenders, and these slides on the sides and like that. So you won't lose it because it's still hanging on the other one, and you can actually tie the string to something as well, and they create less bulk. So let me give it a try and see how they work. It will be in the next thing starting in July saddle. I get some floral D's from Jeremiah Watts. I like these to use on brass collars, but this is 1 inch, so this size I use on my custom mohair cinches. There'll be some conchos again. It's the engraved saddle controls from Jeremiah Watts. Here are some needles from my sewing machines, size 200 and which was this one 230. These are the two sizes I use the most. 230 I use when I have double leather, let's say about half an inch thickness. I use the 230, and if it's less, I use the 200. Rigging for my saddles. This is my favorite rigging now. These are the traditional buckles for mohair cinches. Stainless steel. I have some blades for my skiving knife. 100 blades from Osborne. Really handy for skiving. Chicago screws. These are brass and nickel plated, and they have some nice floral engraving. I like those. I don't usually use rivets to rivet together, except I use the heavy duty copper rivets. But for lighter straps, when attaching the buckle, for belts, when I want to be able to change the buckle, I use these Chicago rivets. These are 1/4 of an inch, and I also have 3/8 of an inch. Two most sizes I use. Saddle these. These are welded. I use these for my bucking rolls. More saddle these for the brass collar. These to attach the brass collar tabs. I have some more conchos here, all from Jeremiah Watts. These actually have loops from the back, so they're preferred to use on spurs straps or headstalls to put on the as a separator from the main piece and the throat latch. Actually making some headstall now. I have some. Most of the hardware I use is from Jeremiah Watts. It's they have it all matched up, all the same design. It's a beautiful design, great quality, heavy duty. Like look at these flank cinch buckles. They have a roller, really strong thong. They will never bend. All stainless steel. So it's a floor engraved. Here is a gun holster buckle. I'll be making a holster soon. It's a nice shiny finish. I think this is nickel over brass. What else do we have? Some more. This is the hardware to use for the flatbed rigging for the backside. When I use finish for the rough out saddles and any parts touching the horse, the sweat, like bottom of the fenders, this is my favorite product. Fiebing's Aussie leather conditioner. So it has wax. It doesn't actually. It smells nice. It doesn't actually dry out the leather. It doesn't darken the leather. Some products are actually drying out. So this doesn't create. It's not greasy, so it doesn't attract the dirt. It just it dries, and then you can polish it. So it's a nice wax finish. Very well suited for boots. Anything you want to give a nice water protection. Great stuff. These are my favorite buckles I use mostly for all applications. Straps, different sizes. This is in 5/8, again from Jeremiah Watt. Headstalls. I use it on hobble straps, on saddles, spur straps. I would probably use 3/4 of an inch, and it's really nice because you can then match up all the hardware. They all have the same design. It has the floral and the black accents, and this I'm actually making it. I painted the background in black, so it's all matching up. So I like these buckles. They never rust. They never bend. They just indestructible. and they are beautiful. I got some more flank cinch buckles, which would be actually not plain. So Jeremiah, he offers a couple of designs. They're all stainless steel, all with a roller, all 1 3/4 of an inch. They can be used for a belt as well, for a heavier belt, but they will be all used for flank cinch in my case. Again, same controls with slots. These are 1 3/4 of an inch, and I first had before 1.5 inch. So 2 different sizes. I use 1 3/4 on the saddles. They fit perfectly. I show you on my leather rosettes. I have 2-inch rosettes and 1 3/4 of an inch concho, so it's a perfect match. The 1.5, it's okay, but it's a little bit too small for saddles. I like this. It just there is very minimum of the rosettes coming showing out, and I put a little design on the rosettes as well. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I have lots of work now to do to get it all sorted. I'm probably gonna leave it in the boxes, the letters, until I can cut them maybe tomorrow or the day after, and I cut them into pieces for the next saddles, so they'll take lot less space. They'll be pre-cut. I cut them oversized, and then I wet them and cut them to proper size when I fit them to the saddle. But they take too much space as they are in full size, and I actually have 4 or 5 sides coming in a couple of days again. So I kind of need to manage my space. And when I cut them into parts, it will take maybe half a day, and they'll be all ready for the next saddles when there's time for them. And those 2 saddles actually started already. I have the gullet done, and I have the seat shaped. So it's like the first part, and then next thing will be the skirts, flat plate, fork, and so I'm gonna cut the parts, and yeah. And today I also ordered lots of mohair for custom cinches. I ordered some silver for the next saddle, and a couple sides I need for some smaller projects. And for that saddle, I need a rawhide as well. They'll be going rawhide lip on the horn and gullet. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you find it interesting, and very soon you will see these letters and the hardware being used. So have a nice day.